Well, Greg Hunter, it was just about 9 months ago, right here in this very booth, you and I were calling the action when from out of nowhere, the Skirra Corvus appeared behind us. That was our very first look at him. Over the past several months, we have seen nothing but impressive things out of this young man. Flexibility like nobody can imagine. At hostile environment, he went through 2 of the best in the Young Lions division. He's now the #1 contender tonight, cashing in on that chance. But tough test ahead as he has Malachi, who won that Young Lions championship, defeating a very dominant champion back then, and another member of the Devil's Rejects, Azrio. Tonight could be ripe for the pickings.
Well, what we have here is a very interesting situation if you're the champion. This is almost ideal if you are Malachi. Malachi did not have to compete at hostile environment. Skirra Corvus did. Skirra Corvus competed in a 3-way dance against El Veterano Quattro and Jay Clinton to earn this title match. Malachi, who just crashed and burned, there's that flexibility of the challenger here, covering only a 2 count. Malachi does not have to contend with the Reverend Dan Wilson at ringside. Dan Wilson was the recipient of a long overdue beating, if you ask me, folks, when he found himself locked in the War Games cage.
Did you see that springboard? I mean, almost the full length of the ring.
And only a 2 count there. But the young man, the Skirra Corvus, obviously has some springs. As I was saying, Dan Wilson found himself locked in that War Games cage and on the receiving end of not only the owner of NWA Anarchy, but the No Pain Train Iceberg. And if you want to see exactly what happened to Dan Wilson, how Skirra Corvus got to this contest, then you need to check out NWAAnarchy.net and get your copy of the Anarchy original. And right now, Malachi returning fire off of that big chop, and now a shot with the elbow, make it 2, but the Skirra Corvus able to reverse his predicament, now choking out Malachi. The Skirra Corvus, so unique among the Young Lions division. We're talking about a division where the average height of a competitor is in the 5'10 to 6'1 range. The Skirra Corvus is, although I've never put a tape measure to this man, easily 6'6", 6'7", somewhere in that neighborhood.
Depends on which convenience store he's coming out of.
And, well, absolutely right. Cover 2, and only a 2 count. And the Skirra Corvus, who weighs just shy of the 200-pound maximum for the Young Lions division, but that is lean muscle stretched out across an incredibly flexible frame, as you can see right there. Diving neck snap, and almost no effort for him to get up to that top turnbuckle. Cover 2, and only a 2 count.
Well, you know, I also want to bring up a very interesting point to kind of combat what you just said. We talked about, oh, wait a minute now, hooking that in, got to be putting a lot of strain on the neck. And let's also not forget, I've mentioned this before, it was a little over a year ago that Malachi was out of professional wrestling because of a shoulder injury. So definitely not doing good for those shoulders. But to combat what you said, not having Dan Wilson at ringside may be a bad thing for Malachi. Dan Wilson has Dan Wilson had, some kind of power over the Skirra Corvus, some kind of, control over him. But now this is a Skirra Corvus without the governor on anymore. This is a Skirra Corvus that can just go straight downhill.
Well, one thing, if you are in Malachi's shoes, he is familiar with the rejects. He's no stranger. He has found himself against them on multiple occasions. As you mentioned, he became Young Lions champion by defeating Azriel. And right now, a young man who has taken on all comers, and I am talking, of course, of the Young Lions champion, Malachi. Very strong young man, perhaps the strongest of all the Young Lions, physically speaking. A person with ability, I think, beyond his years. He took on and defeated Todd Sexton one-on-one in the middle of the ring. Cover 2, and only a 2 count. A far more experienced combatant. And Malachi here, if anyone, we've seen him dig down deep before. If anyone knows what it takes to walk out of this ring Young Lions champion, it is the Young Lions champion.
Well, and the thing is, though, you got to think what those battles with Todd Sexton, defending that title, time after time after time against all the top-notch, competition, it eventually takes its toll on you. You eventually get beaten down. The thing is, how much does Malachi have left in the tank? Right there, we see working on the knee is Skirra Corvus, but luckily Malachi able to get to those ropes.
Variation of the Indian Deathlock applied by the Skirra Corvus, a tool we have not seen out of this young man's arsenal. Like all the rejects, I seriously doubt we've seen all the tricks that this young man has in his handy little bag. But right now, on the receiving end of a big clothesline, and another one from the Young Lions champion.
Greg Hunter, there's no way we could have seen all his tricks. The young man is a rookie. The man has a bright spot, a bright future in this sport.
Right now, on the receiving end of that back body drop, German suplex, rolls with it, does the champ, releases on the second one, and now the Young Lions champion saying that's all.
That usually means that diving headbutt from the top rope. We've seen him win championships with this, the Young Lions championship, in match after match. If he hits this, it could be all over for Skirra Corvus.
Malachi looking for the headbutt. And the Skirra Corvus gets out of harm's way. Crash and burn. The Skirra Corvus has those legs hooked. This is generally a precursor. Throwing shot after shot to the kidneys of the Young Lions champion. He's got him trapped here. Graveyard shift.
That could be all she wrote right there. I mean, Malachi went out like a light.
Cover 2. We've got a new champ.